Hi and welcome to Train Fitness. My name is Michael and I'm one of the directors here. Today we're going to have a look at how Train Fitness uses technology to deliver the best learning experience for our students. When I first wanted to do my personal training qualification, I lived in a country town in Australia, and the nearest venue was about 2 hours drive away. If I wanted to do a recognised qualification, I'd have to travel all of that way. So when Steele Williams and I founded Train Fitness back in 2000, we wanted to make learning accessible to everyone. At the time, this thing called the internet seemed to be something that was going to be big, so we embarked on developing our very first learning management system. At the time, the internet was very much having thousands of web pages which were all linked together, and that's what our learning management system was. Thousands of static pages all linked together that delivered the learning to our students. It was then in 2003, as technology developed, we moved over to Adobe Authorware. And this is a SCORM compliant system, so what we call a shareable content object. Basically, we would create different pieces of learning, and then we'd join those pieces of learning to make a course. We could then reuse them into creating another course. It was a great model for delivering learning, and it's still used today. In 2006, we wanted to track more of the learning experience, not just through the delivery of the course content, but from enrollment right through to certification. So we started to use Microsoft technologies, ASP.NET, SQL servers and cloud servers to further develop the system. To create more interactivity, in version 4, we started to use Flash and Adobe Flex. And this allowed us to target different learning styles, visual learners, auditory learners, kinesthetic learners, through the delivery of our course content, while still tracking it from enrollment right through to certification. Well, technology continued to develop, and in 2016, this year, we released our version 5, which is based on HTML5. Before we did that, however, we wanted to take a look at what we've done, what works, and gauge the student experience with it to develop an even better learning experience. So we employed usability expert Bryn Ray, and Bryn has won many awards for his user design, user experience design. So Bryn started off by interviewing students, asking them about our current system, how they used it, what they thought worked, what they thought didn't work, and what they would like to see included in the next version. We then developed a prototype and used heat maps to see what actually learners were using and what features they weren't using. We wanted to see what they expected to click on, what they did click on, so that we could really fine-tune our learning management system. We then finished off with questionnaires, asking about their experience, again, what they thought, how they were using it, what they liked, what they didn't like. We further developed the system, and we finished off by doing screen recordings to capture how users really did interact with the software. All of this was developed around ISO standard 9241-210. And this is a standard which says software development should be based around the user. So it's a user-centered design. We use evaluation. We then developed the system through prototyping and ensured it meets both the users and the organization's needs. And then that process continues, all about evaluation, redevelopment, redeployment, and then further evaluation. We ended up with version 5 of our student desktop, web-based student desktop. One of the main things we discovered was that learners wanted to see smaller amounts of information. For a personal training qualification, you've got about 30 different chunks of learning, types of learning to do, what we call modules. Well, when a learner logged in and saw all 30, they're like, oh my God, that's so much stuff to learn. So we broke it down. As you can see from here, we've broken it down into the different units that are included in the personal training qualification. Now, learners also like to see how they are progressing. So we have the progress indicators telling them where they are up to, or how far they've gotten through their course material and how much they've got to go. We further break each unit down into the different types of learning. So we have our online theory, which is different to our assessments and our training days. We've got paperwork separated out and certification at the end. These smaller chunks of information helped us deliver a learning experience that wasn't too overwhelming for our students. We also want to incorporate different multimedia so we could target those different learning styles. So we have audio podcasts, text, animations included. And all of this is tracked from the learner through worksheets. The worksheets then link back into the theory content. So if a learner can see that they're not getting one particular question right, they can go back into that learning and it directs them right to the subject that they need to become more aware of. We also wanted to give the learners the ability to manage the learning process entirely. So they can manage their bookings into assessment days and training days. They can book in online, they'll get instant notifications, and then also their results they'll see instantly once they've been input into the system. We also wanted to improve communication with our learners. So we have an integrated help desk where learners can message directly while they're learning. It'll show up on the support team screen and instant responses are then shown back to the learner. In 2012, we developed our very first mobile app to also deliver the learning experience. When we redeveloped the web-based student desktop this year, we also redeveloped our mobile app. What we wanted to do was create a congruent experience between both, so that there is familiarity for the learner when they're looking at the mobile app or the web-based student desktop. So what you'll notice here is that the breakdown of the course is exactly the same. The icons match so that there's that consistent view for the student. The breakdown of the courses is exactly the same, so the layout is similar so that they have that familiarity and it makes learning much easier. The course content is the same and it syncs up between the web-based student desktop and the mobile app. So when a learner finishes off on one device, they can pick up at exactly the same spot on the other. Train Fitness also wanted to deliver different learning so that everybody could understand things. All of the course material has a number of different multimedia assets in it. Having those assets available on the mobile device allows our learners to study anywhere at any time. So all the podcasts that are delivered in the course material can be downloaded to students' phone and they can listen to them when offline. We also deliver webinars very similar to this one that you're watching now that are also incorporated into the mobile app. So if somebody prefers to learn with a tutor-led session, they can watch their e-classes through their app. 99% of all of our students use the mobile app as well as the web-based student desktop. We're a mobile society. Students are now requiring that they're able to study anywhere at any time, and this app allows them to do that. Our new system has seen a 91% decrease in the amount of support calls related to how do I use the system. It has a much more intuitive interface and therefore users are able to use it without requiring any previous training. We've also seen 100% positive feedback when we're comparing the previous version of the student desktop to the current version. Of course, delivering the learning to students is great, being able to track it, but from an administration side of things, we also need to be able to see that information. So we developed our admin application using .NET and Microsoft technologies, and this enables us to track or view that information at any time. So here we can see our student information, and we can see their progress through the course in real time. We know exactly where students are up to at any time. We're able to also manage their bookings. We can see what they've booked into. We can print out attendance summaries to find out who will be attending when. We also manage the results, input the results into the system. Students will get instant notification. We've seen a 73% decrease in the amount of time it takes to support a learner on non-content based support queries. So just on how to do things or how to book into something, our support time has decreased. As all the information is in a database, we're able to generate reports on pretty much everything. And these reports enable us to further improve the system, improve the course delivery, improve the software, so that we're constantly developing it and improving that learning experience. We've seen a 16.2% increase in completion rates on all of our courses since the release of these new versions of the software. Integrated into the admin application is also the management of the course material. So we're able to go in, modify course material, create new course material, and it's all done within the admin application. As a result of this, we've seen a 58% decrease in the amount of time it takes to develop and deploy one of our courses. Since 2003, Train Fitness has been delivering ongoing exercise programming and support for its students. We're one of the only training providers that does offer this type of ongoing programming support. And all of this is done also through our mobile app. So we create videos, music, and program cards and choreography notes that we deliver to our learners. Where before we used to develop CDs and DVDs and post them out to our customers, now everything is instantly delivered in the mobile app. So we have our music playlists, and students are able to also view their videos in their app, download their notes. And all of these are offered instantly the minute we release them back here in London head office. Students can download them so they can view them offline, play their music offline, as you would expect with any multimedia function. With the new release of the software, we've been able to deliver our education and training in more than 10 countries around the world. We've seen a 25% increase in retention rates of our subscribers, and we've got a 30% year-on-year growth of subscriptions for our ongoing programming. Train Fitness always likes to innovate. We were the first training provider in the sector to offer online learning, and we are the first training provider to track online learning, not just during the delivery of the content, but from enrollment right through to certification and then beyond in ongoing programming. The ongoing programming sees instant delivery to all of our students all around the world. The system can be delivered in different languages, enabling us to deliver the courses in different languages. China and Chinese being one of those countries and one of those languages. The system is also fully rebrandable. and we deliver our training or deliver our software to a number of different training providers and program developers. We were very honoured to have been nominated and to win the 2016 Best Use of Technology Award from UK Active. But while software is great, really it's the end user's decision that's going to decide on whether it actually is of any benefit to them. So Tom here, Tom was or is a business owner, and he wouldn't have been able to do his qualification unless we had this software and were able to deliver it through our mobile app. Christopher wanted to become an internal quality assurer as he delivers qualifications. And again, he wasn't able to get the time off work to do that study, but because of the mobile app and our web-based student desktop, he was able to do it via distance study. Sarah could also follow her passion and become a personal trainer via distance study through the use of our software. And David as well is now a qualified personal trainer. But the one I really wanted to share with you was from Saib, who lives in a remote village in Burma. Now, for him to do a recognised qualification, he would have had to driven 140 hours to Kuala Lumpur, where we deliver our training. However, because of our mobile app and the technology we have, he was able to do his course, become a qualified instructor, and now he gets instant access to the programs as and when they're delivered and released. Ted now delivers some classes in his remote village in Burma and gets great results for his participants. So Train Fitness is dedicated to delivering quality training in innovative ways through the use of technology, and we hope that you enjoy using the technology and are also able to gain the qualifications and training you want.